How is it to be a hot but an idiot guy?
Pretty good question. I don't know. I wouldn't know.
No, I'm actually here to talk, of course, about the upcoming album. Okay. As I wasn't able to listen to it yet because it still takes a while. I want you to tell me what's new on the new record compared to the last one.
Okay, well, this album is a more focused record because, about 2 years ago, while the band was exponentially growing, we had just chaotic inside the band, there was just absolute chaos. And about 2 years ago, we got to the point where we realized that this cannot continue this way. And so the guys, some of the guys in the band who had issues with sobriety got sober, and since that 2 years now that they're sober, and that sobriety changed who they are kind of. So they're way more focused, and that shows up in the music. So I would say that this record, every band says that this is our best record, and I wish you heard it because then I wouldn't have to just make you believe. You could probably attest yourself, but I think it is our most focused, widest range record. Feels like a complete record that explores a lot of different musical ideas, and lyrically as well is way more focused than it was before. And so I think this is basically a turning point for the band. This is I would say, if I had to say one word, I would say it's rebirth.
So the chaos feeling from the last years was mostly because of addiction, or was it more than that?
I mean, obviously this is a band of a bunch of guys, a lot of testosterone. It's everybody is a character. You know what I mean? And so that there is a natural, order of things and a natural, I wouldn't say competition, but you put a bunch of, alpha type guys into a room, there are gonna be, issues and situations, but you can work those things out. But add some alcohol, add some, some kerosene to the situation, some fuel, and then you get explosive, the outcome is explosive, right? But it was really just spinning out of control. It was a train that sort of just ran off the tracks, and the inertia just carried it. And, we were still growing and taking out the forest, but yet we knew that this can't, this is not survivable. There is a possible, we lost so many musicians lately, especially to various addictions that are led to depression and that led to suicide. And so unfortunately this is a common thing, and so we had to put an end to that very quickly, and so we did, and we came out on the other side of the tornado sort of unscathed and better than ever. So that's a win.
Sounds like you're in a good place right now. The name of the new album is F8. What does that mean?
So, I mean, originally we were just going to call it 8, sort of, We thought it's an 8 record, and, and if we wanted to be esoteric about it, or, we figured like, well, if you turn the 8, sideways, the symbol of infinity, there was some play with the visuals, right? I do most of the design, the graphics for merch and the band in general.
It's a snake which bites its own tail.
Yeah, that's the Ouroboros. The Ouroboros. It's an old, an old symbol of infinity, and so I was playing around at least with the graphics, and I thought like it maybe needs a little bit more, and we were bouncing around ideas, and we added letter F to this. So it was like 5-finger death punch, 8 record. In the same time, if you want to read it phonetically, right, it could be fate or it can be fate.
Are you already nervous as we have 2 hours left before you go on stage? Maybe less?
No, I mean, it's like, I did this my whole life, right? So to me, in fact, I tell you the truth is that actually I get relaxed when I get on stage. When I get on stage, that's the moment when all the business and all the other noise goes away. This is my moment of, okay, this is when I relax. This is the moment when the pressure and all that disappears, because now there's nothing but my instrument, the audience, my band. And that's sort of as weird as it sounds, that's almost like a secluded feeling of like, okay, the world is not in here. This arena right now is private. Relax. So I don't get nervous. Actually, I look forward to my moment of like, okay, we're here, you know?
Well, that makes sense as it's part of your job, right? Being a musician. But that's cool, yeah. But you will play new songs of the album today already?
Yes, we do. So Inside Out, actually, the first single, went number one today, actually, in America. And it's in a mainstream rock charts. It's number one right now, which is, in some way, it's a victory. Because that song is heavier than what mainstream radio generally plays in America.
I would go and ask you just a few short questions. And the first one is, do you have a ritual before you go on stage?
We don't necessarily have a ritual. To me, like even a second before that I go on stage, I'm still on two different phones. Like, yeah, okay, we go. You know, I'm
doing the business.
Yeah, I'm doing the business. I'm wheeling and dealing. So literally, I'm running on stage with a phone in my hand, and that's what I meant by. And the second I step on deck, you know, the guys take away my phone, you know, and then I'm cut off from the outside world and I'm at peace, you know. So that's my ritual. Like, okay, I guess that's my ritual. I give up my phones.
That suits to my next question. Do you have a bad habit? Is that what it is?
Back again to the way growing up, I knew that the only way I could get out of here, right, was that I study. I loved going to school. I studied all the time because I knew that I have to be smarter, faster, stronger than anyone else, or I can't break out of here. So I literally dedicated every minute of my life since I was 8 years old to study, work hard, you know. And then all of a sudden you're successful, and I don't know another way to exist. So my bad habit is that I can't relax.
So bad habit and big strength at the same time.
Yes, basically, yeah.
What was the last website you were on, or what did you Google last?
Last website, actually, I think I just got the news that where the songs positions are, and so I checked the charts. So I literally, because right before we walked in, I got the email like, hey guys, congratulations, you went number one. So
that's brand new.
Yeah,
so congratulations.
It just happened, right? So I went online and I looked at the charts, and you know, I also managed 2 more bands, and it just happened so that today we are number one. The band I manage, one of the managed band is Bad Wolves. Yeah. These guys are here with us, right? Well. So Bad Wolves is number 4 on the same charts, and then another band called Fire from the Gods, unbelievable band, and they're number 9. So they got their first top 10 hit. So I have basically my own band and 2 bands I manage in the top 10. So I was, I guess, looking at the charts and gloating to myself, like, backpack, good job.
Yeah, probably you did a really good job. Congratulations on that. Did you ever experience like something weird or like awkward moments, or just some like fails on stage while playing? Probably you have some stories, right?
For example, the pyro, right? You have a watcher. His sole job is to make sure that he has a trigger, that the only way that the pyro can go off if he's not on that trigger, right? Which is a safety feature, meaning that he's watching the band members. So the pyro is, there's a shooter who shoots the pyro, and there's a safety guy. The safety guy has to hold the trigger to make sure that the shooter can never shoot if he's close to any fire.
That's interesting. I did not know that.
So that's how it works. It's 2 people have to shoot in the same time. So they can make sure that, you know, that 2 people have eyes on the band members. And so they have to do it at the same time, otherwise it doesn't work. Things like this happened, like not long ago, that we had some concussion grenades on, and we couldn't put it on the truss rods that it's up there. So it was on the front of the stage. And on a couple of shows it was there. And then somebody, for whatever reason, moved it a couple of foot closer, and we were not used to that it's there. And I literally turned to Ivan. He was this close to me, like you are, right? And I was going to say something. I looked down, and it was right there in the moment that we knew it had to go. And it exploded. We both jumped, but I got some shrapnels in my face. Yeah, so things like that happen, you know. I mean, you know, there are plenty of tour stories that we could do a full feature movie just on crazy stuff that happened.
Give me one last one.
All right. Well, our march pits, especially our first 2 records, were legendary. Dangerous. We are out of stretchers. All the ambulance is busy. We had 17 broken, whatever. So it happened. It was crazy. And we had a short set. We were opening band. We had 30 minutes, and we put the most brutal songs in there. So it was all just about bloodbath. We realized that for some reason, a lot of parents with their kids started to show up at their shows, and especially festivals, and we're like, oh, shoot. Because we know what songs are like, this is going to be brutal, and I see these kids, and literally we're like, okay, we got to do something because those kids are going to get trampled. And so we became the band. This is how it happened. Like, hey, kids, let's get out of the crowd. You all come and watch it from the side stage. So we'll pull out the kids from, for that particular song, and they would watch the show from the side stage. After the song was done, we would release them back to the wild, Star FM.